Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today I'm going to show off Cloak and Dagger in City DD4 on node 12. This is the hardest node in Dark Dimension 4, and we're going to do a lot of experimenting today. If you are still working your way through DD4 and you want to know, should you bring Cloak and Dagger, or should you bring Heroes for Hire, or should you bring Symbiotes, we are going to compare and contrast a bunch of different teams today. And I'm going to try my best to have team comps that a newer player who's working their way through DD4 would have. Now, obviously, I'm going to say from the outset that my characters are all high star level. So I'm going to have a 6 red star, 7 yellow, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Anti-Venom. And, you know, my Heroes for Hire, we can get rid of put them off to the side here, and you'll see they're all, 5 reds or whatever. And they're all around the same power level, and that's just comparing apples to apples. And I appreciate that. You'd like to see how they are at 2 or 3 stars. I can't provide that to you, but I can show you from apples to apples. You can compare the strength of these characters at this power level to each other. All right. So let's start here. I think a good starting spot would be to start with 2 symbiotes and Cloak and Dagger. Okay. So we're going to do Cloak and Dagger. And I really was debating whether or not I should do Anti-Venom or Scream. And some of the folks in my stream were telling me, try Scream, because, Anti-Venom is so hard for new players to get. Scream is in the arena store. So let's do that. Since you can get Scream more in it, she's more accessible for players. Let's just try this one and see how this team does. By the way, the reason I do 4-person teams instead of 5 is because new players are not able to, they're probably can't afford. They don't have the gear to do 5. And I just think that is my primary audience trying to get help here. Also, I think this is a value for players who are considering, who they might want to gear for DD5. What I will do is I'm going to leave a gap and put, let's see, we'll put Scream off to the side, I think. So what we'll do is, we'll do that. If you don't have a 5th character gear tier 15, all you do is just go to your blitz squads or go and blitz, and you could do the same thing and just save a squad and then use it here to create that blank space. Because the reason I'm doing this is because Scream is so squishy. All right, let's try it out. All the characters obviously are also level blue ISO level 3. So let's try this team out and see how it does. This is our first view of Cloak and Dagger in DD4. On paper, they look amazing for DD4. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. This is wave 1. This is the very beginning of the node. I haven't saved any attempts yet. All right, they go after Dagger first. And here, we'll just do this. All right. So far, so good. And now let's cloak them in debuffs. Great. Ooh. She survived. That's very big. Very big that she survived. Very good damage. And look at that healing. Those debuffs from Cloak and Dagger really do a lot. Now, Jessica Jones is already... So now, one thing I will just say here, and you can see Scream is almost dead. One thing I will say is that my Dagger's only 5 red, 5 yellow. My Cloak is 6 red, 6 yellow. So that these characters have higher stars. So this is giving you a sense of how this team performs. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if we had some bad RNG. One thing I will note is that the ADI usually goes after the character with the highest attack, and that is Dagger here. So a lot of times that I used to do when I was in DD4 for the first time is I would deliberately, for example, if Scream was the highest attack, I would make her Fortifier or something to get her attack below SSM, and I'd make him Striker or something like that to try to, kind of make it so a character that was more survivable had the highest attack. I don't think there's any way I can prevent them going after Dagger here, though. I actually think last attempt may have been lucky. We'll see. All right. we may get luckier with some blinds. That would be nice. We definitely have a good amount of blinds this time. All right, let's focus on Jessica Jones. She's definitely a key enemy. All right. That was so far so good. One thing that sucks is that even though Punisher was blind, it's still 8 are evades there. But look at this, by the way. Look at all those vulnerables thanks to the kits. All right, let's... I probably should have gone after Captain America there. Yeah, they're doing very well. It looks like I just had to kind of get the right RNG here. And there we go. Now Dagger's doing fine. Now she rains debuffs down, and now we can... we want to have slow on everyone. That's the reason to do this, not for the stun, but just so we get slow down. Wow, huh? Though the debuff train is very significant here. Very, very significant. Very, very significant. All right. And one thing I will say is they are doing very, very impressive damage. And I mean, this is not like some grand strategy here. I haven't been resetting it over and over to get the perfect RNG. I'm not really studying the kill order. This is me pressing buttons because I'm making a video, and I'm just more or less just sort of reacting here, okay? This is just sort of, if at the end of the day, you're like, I got to run my DD4 attacks before I go to sleep, that sort of thing. All right, we got, yeah. They're very good. Now, you could see survivability is a bit of a concern because they like going after Dagger. But those evades are pretty significant. Definitely very significant. You have to be careful with the cooldowns because you do not have Death Pool there feeding all that ability energy. They're certainly considerably better in raids. But they had no problem getting through the first wave. Now, I'm just going to show you. Okay, so this team's pretty fully healed. All their cooldowns going into the next wave. And by the way, that literally means that they could just go right like that again. Okay, that's so overpowered. I'm going to quit out of this, and I want to show you just apples to apples what players had to deal with before this, right? So before this happened, right, we were bringing in teams, like this, right? You were bringing in, I don't know, Night Nurse and Anti-Venom just like 2 months ago, right? This was like the popular team. Maybe even a month ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know. But this was, for a long time, the popular team. Just to show you how good Cloak and Dagger are. I want to show you them versus a traditional team. And then we're going to show them versus Heroes for Hire. Now, one thing I will just say, we talk about traditional teams here, is remember that this team takes a ton of alien spores. Right? I mean, this is a team that's like, we got 3 bio characters, 2 of which are extremely hard to obtain in Symbiote, Spider-Man, and Anti-Venom. And a ton of alien spores. If you're just new to this game and just entering DD4, that can be very challenging. And you can see Night Nurse is just barely, keeping it going here. I mean, she does a decent heal there, but she's about to die. I mean, she may not last very long. This is the first wave. This is the wave that the last team had no problem getting through with full cooldowns. Now, this team's doing okay too. And one thing I will say, maybe I shouldn't have used my special there. But one thing I will say is, people do mention to me sometimes that, hey, when I have all 5 symbiotes in here, they do really well and they can one-shot. Well, maybe. one thing I'll just say is, for the purpose of these videos are to help players who haven't already mastered DD4. How many new players are going to be able to have five symbiotes are going to quit out of here? You see, by the way, look at this first wave. They have full health. I mean, we basically just whittled down a little bit off some characters, and we have to quit out because we're dying. Look at that. It's a slog, even really, with 5 symbiotes. But the point is, no new players can have enough alien spores and have the characters all unlocked for 5 symbiotes. So you have to really show kind of apples to apples here. So let's show now. Let me show you Heroes for Hire in comparison. Well, actually, let me show you now Cloak and Dagger with some Heroes for Hire. I think that's a reason, or with Shang-Chi. I think that's what a lot of newer players are going to try to do. They'll maybe bring in Cloak, Dagger, and, Shang-Chi, something like that. Something along these lines. This is, I think, going to be very popular. Let's just show this. This will probably be one of the best teams because Shang-Chi is really overpowered. So I think this is definitely going to be a choice for some new players. And then I'm going to show you Heroes for Hire. See, now they're going after Shang-Chi. He's got even higher damage than Dagger. And my Shang-Chi, of course, is like 7 yellows. That helps. All right. So far, so good. All right, now we'll cloak them in debuffs. And we'll get some speed bar. All right, that should basically do it, I would say. Going after Jessica Jones here. I have to hope they don't kill Shang-Chi here because I could have healed with him. Nope, I'm good. And there we go. See, what I'm trying to do is make it so Jessica Jones doesn't even, clear the debuffs because that's what she did before. I am going to save this. I'm going to save her ultimate for the next wave. Like I've got this wave pretty under control. What a difference from the symbiotes, right? The symbiotes, it was like we got rolled on that first wave. We didn't even get, basically my symbiotes died before I could make any progress really at all. Whereas here, I'm already at a spot where I'm like, okay, I've got debuffs all over the place. My characters are basically at full health. So let's just manage the situation here by, saving my cooldowns for the next wave. Going after Rocket because he's got low health. Figure we might as well. This is low cooldown, so we'll do that. I probably shouldn't have. Probably should have just saved it. Probably should have just saved it. All right, let's see. Just give you a sense of how the next one goes. I think this may very well be the best team for new players at this point. You got to go after Rescue here because she can cleanse debuffs. I mean, this is very fantastic. Wow, right? All right, now that extends them. I don't think we want to do anything other than get Rescue down because she's the only cleanser of this group. Her first turn, she won't cleanse. Her first turn, she's going to just put some barrier on. Look at that, the resistance. Yep, so she, like I said, she gets the barrier down. As long as we can kill her, I think we're good. All right, that's like a tickle from Iron Man. Not very scary in this game, is he? All single target focused on rescue. All right, now we're good. We practically have this wave under control already. You can see how, even with just 4 characters, you could see how a player might really be able to set themselves up for a one-shot here. I'm not, this is not careful strategy. This is not some sort of, fancy thing I'm doing here. This is just the first attempt, right? We will do that here. I was going to say I'll use his ultimate. I don't think we have to. Oh, we got Emma. Let's see how they do against Emma. I know people are going to tell me like, oh no, what can they possibly do against Emma, right? Well, let's see. They got Emma down to half health right away. We can't land the defense down on her, of course. Thing is, she's going to probably cleanse everything very quickly here. Yeah. I think the reason I did this and I saved my ultimate and so forth is because I knew Emma was going to cleanse. Wow. Okay, that's not good. We're going to still aim for Emma. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Emma's down. That's the scary Emma of node 12, not even a problem. We finally lost Shang-Chi. And, how far along are we? We're almost done with the node. There's 12 enemies remaining. 12 enemies remaining at this point, right? And we're basically, I would say, in cooldown management mode here. All right. Still very, very impressive performance, right? This is, like I said, this is not like me trying hard. Okay. So that would be the end of the line. You would basically 2-shot the node on a first try, not even just me streaming. All right. That's very impressive performance. That's probably the best team. And I didn't even try that hard. And to compare it, I will show you this versus, let's say, Heroes for Hire. So you can see sort of how let's see how that looks. We can go to, what is it, Blitz here. You can see the full Heroes for Hire team. I don't think they're as good as Cloak and Dagger, but let's just showing you for effect here. I think the Heroes for Hire team are at least comparable to the Symbiotes, which is something, because the Symbiotes for a long time were kind of the only choice, and they still are necessary for people who are doing Doom Raid and the bio nodes, okay, or at least for the time being. But they are an alternative if you don't have a ton of alien spores, or if you've gotten into a situation where you're like, hey, I have not gotten lucky in these milestone orbs or premium orbs or whatever, right? Okay, we're going to heal here just because we need to make sure Shang-Chi doesn't die. And we lost Iron Fist. It is what it is. What is this here? Do we want a stun or we want ability block? Let's ability block. We got it. I figured to keep the debuffs out there. It's this team, I think, is clearly better in my estimation. It really looks better than the Symbiotes to me. That I will confess, I don't have all the Symbiotes to G15. Maybe some people have told me they just are like, I one-shot with the Symbiotes. Maybe it just seems like, to me, it's easier with this team. It seems easier with Shang-Chi, obviously. Without Shang-Chi, Heroes for Hire were not very good. I'll tell you that right now. But this move, this ultimate, is really powerful. Just does a ton of damage. And the speed bar is nice. And he does the healing on the special. I understand there's, people are saying it's bugged or whatever. I get it. I mean, Scopely sucks or whatever. But come on. I mean, this is very good performance. So, way it looks to me, my impression, trying to compare apples to apples here, is I think the symbiotes are, the Cloak and Dagger are the clear number one, the clear champions here. I think the best team is probably going to be Cloak, Dagger, Shang-Chi, and then whoever you want. And that could literally be Symbiote Spider-Man. It could be somebody else. And then I would think, but I think that Heroes for Hire are probably the second best choice. But like I said, I'm testing out the full team. And most new players aren't going to even, they're not going to have the full team, or they're not going to want to build up the full team because, unless you're really end game, why would you want to build war defense anyway? But this is clearly, you saw how the symbiotes didn't even get past wave one. It was three symbiotes plus Night Nurse or whatever kind of more traditional team. Clearly, to me, these new characters, the power creep, the great reset, whatever you want to call it, power leap, is real, and you can see it in DD4. New top choice, new high performers in the next DD4 infographic, without a doubt, are going to be Cloak and Dagger. We're going to have to shift things around significantly. All right, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to this channel. You got comments, questions, leave them below in the comments, or just go to my Discord. We have a lot of great conversations there. That's linked below as well. You can also check out my Twitch stream. That's where I do all these videos. That's linked below as well.